Hello, I'm Campbell and welcome to WinedUp Reviews. We're in Aldi today and we are going to taste this wine, which is Freeman's Bay Pinot Gris from New Zealand. Wine geekery time. Quite commonly known that Pinot Gris and Pinot Grigio are the same grape. You tend to find that if it's a New World wine like this and they're calling it Pinot Gris, particularly New Zealand, they're trying to distance themselves a little bit from mainstream sort of supermarket Pinot Grigio. The way people, winemakers, mass market treat Pinot Grigio kind of annoys me. They tend to batter it around and filter it and fine it and try and take all of the flavours effectively away from it. So it ends up being nearly clear, nearly tasteless, pretty good if you're just buying it for £4, chucking some ice and some soda in there and making it into a spritzer. Whereas Pinot Grigio is or Pinot Gris is a very close cousin of Pinot Noir. Not so much a close cousin as it's actually a colour mutation of Pinot Noir. So we might find a photo of this, but if you look at a Pinot Gris grape, it isn't as white as you expect. It's actually a red grape. Most red wine grapes are actually black, but Pinot Gris is that sort of dark pink, red kind of colour. So a lot of Pinot Gris and Pinot Grigios, some of which we'll taste here, have got that little pinky-ness to them. So it's really annoying when you see a Pinot Grigio that's nearly white, because it means somebody's just making it for people who don't give a stuff about what it tastes like, or they think that a little bit of pinkiness will make people think it's a cheap rosé. But Pinot Gris usually means that it's a winemaker who's taking it a little bit more seriously than mass market Pinot Grigios. So let's give it a sniff. Surprising amount of fruit coming forward there. Melon in particular. You know, I'd say slightly spicy. This is interesting because, as the label says, this is slightly off dry. It's very definitely a dry wine, but it is slightly off dry. A little bit of that residual sweetness is still in there. It's got a bit of spice, a bit of ginger. We were tasting this earlier, and our kind of view was, if you'd been out for a couple of pints and you're coming home, if you're going to have a curry and you're looking for a glass of wine because you've had more than enough beer, this has got enough of that little bit of sweetness to stand up to the spice, but a bit of that ginger flavour. You know how ginger can be uniquely sort of a little bit sweet but a little bit spicy too. It's got quite a unique quality to it. Then this is going to go well with that. Much more importantly, it's £5.80 in Aldi, which is a cracking price. On that basis, we think this is a 7 on Wes. It's definitely worth the whirl if you like Pinot Grigio, but you find it a little bit bland and there's not too much going on, then try this. It tasted immediately of Pinot Gris. I knew exactly what it was as soon as I tasted it. So well worth the try if you like something like that that's a little bit different. Well worth a try if you're looking for something to go with some food that's a little bit spicy, Thai food for example, then I think this would set that off really nicely. But for a little bit over a £5, well worth the whirl. Cheers.